interesting. And I guess a very important thing, it seems like, is also this aspect of the latitude of the city Dallas itself. I know there's that this is related, of course, to the 33rd. Is it parallel of latitude that Dallas is located on? Is that right?
It's very, very close to it. In fact, it's just a fragment of a degree away from the 33rd parallel. The interesting thing about this is that there are many, many dirty deeds that have been done around this particular measurement across the globe. And this is not just central to America or to Europe or anything. This is across the board, across the planet. We see many of the major Illuminati cities are located on this 33rd degree. We also see the correspondence between the degrees in the Freemasonic system, obviously the 33rd degree again. And in terms of that, the magic that these people practice obviously is black magic. And the thing about this is that they have no problem whatsoever condemning anyone to death that they perceive as having done them and their agenda some wrong. And this is primarily coincidentally, Kennedy also had 3 infractions against him, which were the reasons for his death. He wanted to, number 1, break up the CIA. He wanted to end the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War. And number 3, and perhaps most importantly, just a little while before he was actually murdered, he had signed a presidential executive order which ordered the U.S. Congress to begin issuing silver certificates, and these were called the U.S. notes. This was going to be a replacement of the Federal Reserve notes. The bankers went insane when they heard about this, and basically immediately ordered this guy's death because of that.
I want to return to a little bit more about the potential significance of 33. Do you have any idea why this particular number is important beyond the fact that what we talked about, the Trinity and so forth? But then I guess they could choose 3 as a number that is important in a way. But do you have any theories or even facts from the big boys themselves why 33 is an important number?
Yes, absolutely. The significance is astrological in nature, and how this works is every astrological sign is entered by the planets at the 30th degree. And when we take into consideration the width of the sun itself, we get that 3 degrees extra, and that's the correspondence to the 33 in terms of astrology. And I find that to be interesting, especially when we understand that these people are solar worshipers and also worshipers of the moon, the planets, and their movements throughout the sky, the precession of the equinoxes, and so forth.
Oh, very interesting. Yeah, so it goes back to the sun worship again, and of course the astrological connection, as you say. That's very highly interesting. One thing that I also wanted to bring up here is when you were down in Dallas at the location. I know that you were in the museum called the Sixth floor museum, I guess. How was that experience? And also tell us about the the possible location that they or that the conspiracy theory of the JFK assassination. They say that Lee Harvey Oswald, of course, shot it from the book deposit library, but as I understand it, it isn't even possible at these days to actually look out the window yourself, so you can verify that the spot that JFK was assassinated on actually is viewable from this window. Isn't that right?
Yeah, in fact, that is correct. And when I went down there, I was very, very interested in trying to arrange for myself an opportunity to look through that window personally. And what happened is I had gone through the entire museum and took the tour, quote unquote, and I was very disturbed by this because this was just what I refer to as official fiction. This was a bullshit story that they made up, which fit this conspiracy theory of the government's own making, and they were trying to pin this on a lone individual. The problem being is that the location that they picked for this individual to be shooting from has a number of problems with it. First of all, at the moment of the assassination, Lee Harvey Oswald was actually standing in the doorway of the street-level entrance to the book depository building. He wasn't even on the 6th floor. So that's problem number one.
Yeah.
Second problem is that I was able to arrange for myself an opportunity to look through that window, and I'll explain that in a minute, how that happened. And when I did look through that window, I understood immediately that it was completely impossible for him to shoot from that location. He had an inferior rifle. It had an inferior scope on it. And Lee Harvey Oswald, as a shooter, was very low ranked. So he wasn't even that good of a shot to begin with. Now, they claim that he made 3 shots within 6 seconds, which is completely ridiculous. This is a bolt-action pump on the gun, and it takes longer to physically manipulate the rifle than it does to actually shoot within that time that he had to shoot within. So when I took that tour, I was just, this is nonsense. This is all garbage, and it's all made up fairy tale stuff to fit the official fiction of the event. Now, what happened is I took $100. I went up to an employee of the building, and I basically said, "How would you like to make $100?" I came back the next day, a few minutes before they opened. I was allowed into the building. None of the curators or any of those people knew that this had happened. The individual who assisted me in this endeavor has never been identified by myself, and I never would. And basically, when I looked through that window, I came to realize the reason that they prevent people from doing that is because it would completely knock apart that entire scenario. It's impossible for it to have happened from that single location.
Yeah.
And so that's the long and the short of what I thought was a very well spent $100.
Yeah, definitely, exactly. Yeah, to be able to verify that is not the the possible location. Of course, Lee Harvey Oswald has been handed to us as the lone gunman or the lone nut, of course, to have perpetrated this. But I mean, in your article, you go into this I guess, a little bit more about this speculation around, of course, the where the shots actually came from and who did it and so forth. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? What do you think about it?
Yeah, in terms of that, immediately after the assassination, they had very fortuitously and very coincidentally arrested 3 homeless men, or 3 men who were supposed to be homeless. They were a little too well dressed, in my opinion. The one guy had a really nice suit coat on, and I just didn't see that as fitting the scenario either. But these 3 individuals, one of them was a CIA operative. This is E. Howard Hunt. The other individual was Frank Sturgis. He was also tied up with intelligence. And then the third person was this Charles Harrelson individual, who has a very famous son, the actor Woody Harrelson, who had been in the TV show Cheers, and is a movie star at this point. Mr. Harrelson had died recently, and neither him or Frank Sturgis had ever made any quote-unquote confession. However, earlier this year, in January of 2007, this recording popped up on the internet of E. Howard Hunt talking about Lyndon Baines Johnson ordering and participating on a very high level in the assassination plan of John F. Kennedy. And he would be the obvious benefit, or the benefit of the assassination would fall to him, because obviously he became the next president without being voted in either.
Yeah, exactly.
So, this whole thing, it's just, the more I looked into it, and the less the official story made sense.
Yeah, definitely. I actually haven't heard that the tape yet, the deathbed confession. I know that you have it linked up, so I definitely, gonna listen to it or add it even afterwards in this interview itself, if it's because it is in audio format, or is it a script, a narration, a writing of what was said in the tape?
Yes, it's an MP3 file.
It is, okay, excellent. All right. One other very interesting aspect to the connection, I guess, then between Masonry, of course, beyond the point that many of the people that I guess you suspect are involved are Freemasons themselves, very high degree, and we can certainly, mention that and talk about that, but there is also a connection, I guess, with Hiram Abiff, the legendary Freemasonic figure, to JFK. Tell us about that.
Yeah, this is where things start to get a little bizarre, if you will. In the Freemasonic system, there's this legendary character, Hiram Abiff, and in the Freemasonic initiations, symbolically, they're acting out the symbolic murder of this individual. This person was attacked in the back, the throat, and in the rear of the head. This ritualized murder of Abiff is acted out in these initiation rituals, which on a symbolic level kind of refers to the Knights Templar and the problems that they went through at the hand of the King of France on October 13th, 1307. This coming October 13th of this year is the 700th anniversary of this. Ralph Ellis, a tremendous resource for anyone interested in ancient Egypt,